Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Taylor Parker is here from Concept by Iowa Hearing, and we're going to be talking about hearing and what noise can do to damage your hearing. And you're going to want to pay attention to this because you're going to learn some things you might not have known. Taylor, thanks for being here.
Always good to be here.
Yeah, now we are talking about everyday noises that people hear and then some excessive noises that could really damage your hearing.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people don't really think about noise levels. They know what they think is too loud, but understanding really where the damage can start, how long it can really take, or how short it can take to get to that point. Noise-induced hearing loss is the #1 type of hearing loss that's out in the public today. So it's something that can be prevented or preventable, but it's something that we really don't think about. When you think about, right now when we're having a conversation, our conversation will range somewhere between 50 and 65 decibels. Okay. OSHA standards are at 85 decibels. So 85 and below is considered safe. Anything above 80, starting at 85 and going up, is where damage can occur.
Okay.
And when you look at, we call it the noise thermometer, at 88 decibels, so 3 decibels above 85, it takes 8 hours to damage your hearing if it was constant at 85.
Now, what is an example of that?
So at 85 decibels, we're talking about garbage disposal. A restaurant and like even playing the piano will be at 80. So certain restaurant settings.
So probably a really busy chain restaurant with
could
all
be,
the activities
like in the
be
bar
raising
area.
Up, yeah.
Could be like at 85, maybe even a little higher than that. So we're talking 8 hours at 85. 88 automatically cuts that time in half. So we go to 4 hours just by going 3 decibels.
Wow.
Every 3 decibels you go cuts that time in half.
Okay, so what's an example of 88 decibels?
So if we get to 88, we're talking about a window air conditioner, lawnmower, even being out in like city traffic. If you were like downtown Des Moines,
really?
Stuck in traffic. So, we're talking 88 decibels there. Then you get to 91, could be, so for women, hair dryer, hairdressers.
Okay.
91.
Okay, now you mentioned the time has cut in half as you raise by 3 decibels. So how much time for a hairdryer then?
So at 2 hours.
2 hours.
So if you're someone that works in a salon.
Okay, guys, remember that. Okay. Okay. You say, hey, you got to cut down the drying time. Let's go.
That's right. We need to get out of the house.
You got to leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get to 94. It could be a sander, boombox, an electric drill. So for guys that are running electric drills,
right.
My wife runs one.
Yeah.
Quite often. We're down to an hour. Then we get to 97, a motorcycle, that's 30 minutes. So riding a motorcycle without any ear protection can happen in as little as 30 minutes.
So if you have a helmet on, that'll help a little bit.
It's going to help cut it down some.
A little bit, but still you have a motor.
Correct. You're riding a Harley, something,
exactly.
Boss Hog, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, so you're talking 30 minutes.
Okay, so we're talking about everyday activities right now, and we're getting up to the damage area now with not a whole lot of time. Let's continue up.
Yeah, you get to 100, jet ski, a blender. So if you're at home making a blender at home making, think about when you turn some of the blenders on, like a Ninja.
Yeah.
Some of those now, 15 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
MP3 players.
Now this is the one a lot of people, they get grief for because they have it cranked where you can hear it. If some people were listening, were standing where you are, I could hear what song is on.
Yeah, and that literally, gets you down to 15 minutes. And even though the AirPods, things like that, say they have a decibel limit, the decibel limit's not a safe limit. It doesn't go to 85. It, in some cases goes to, I think I've seen some go to 104.
Wow.
So, when you get it to 104, we get up to 115 decibels, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Leaf blower, and that's an uncomfortable range. When we get to 120, 8 seconds.
8 seconds. And now let's talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Kinnick Stadium, I saw someone's Apple Watch registered at 124.
Oh my goodness.
So now, granted, you're not in the volume, like it's not right at your ear, but you're in the stadium.
What about rock concerts?
100%. Rock concerts, that was actually, rock concerts will get up into 125 and can get as high as 140. I've known people that, have been close to speaker systems.
But you can't, you can, and again, we're not even at the top threshold yet.
Oh, no.
Okay, the top threshold would be what?
Top threshold, there's 125, and then 140 would be like a jet engine or a firearm.
Okay.
My father-in-law shot a .357 at age 21, lost his hearing at age 21, shot it one time.
Well, but the good news is this can damage your hearing, but in times you can, get some assistance from this. And obviously, seeing Concept by Iowa Hearing is the best way to go. Where can they go and get some more information about how to get tested?
Yes, if you just go to iowahearing.com, go to our website, you can find out what our locations are. We have locations all throughout Iowa, central Iowa especially.
Right.
Free hearing screening. But the best thing to do is get your hearing checked, especially if you've been exposed to any of this type of noise for any period of time. Get the hearing checked.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Great
Folks,
to be
pay
here.
attention to your hearing and give them a call or jump online and find out about it. We'll see you tomorrow on Iowa Live.